White sage is a powerful herb that I love to use. Now, it really clears the air. It decreases the amount of negative energy around you. Now, a couple other ways to decrease negative energy is clearing off your space, giving your ritual space its own dominance in an area of a room or your house. And now, this is the room that I do most of my spiritual things in, and I do have some clutter here and there. For those of you who've watched my videos for a while, you've seen some clutter, but I'd highly recommend that you try to only have a shrine not have anything around it. I have not followed this rule today, and I have not followed this rule with this shrine that I have to myself. But I have followed this rule on the shrine that I have to the gods and spirits. It's only stuff related to them that I keep there on my different shrines. I have a few of them. Now, today I was burning white sage, but sometimes I burn mugwort. Mugwort is the Northern European equivalent of sage, white sage, and it's just as good. It makes some people more sick than white sage. Certain people have trouble ingesting it and smelling it when you're burning it, and sometimes it can be kind of toxic to your energy depending on what kind of person you are. But if you're dealing with shamanic practices, you should have no trouble with mugwort. I'm also using a burning oil today of mugwort in this oil burner. This is my oil burner with a little white tea light candle underneath. I got some purified water and mugwort oil in there. I also have a little magical ritual that I'm wrapping up over here. Now, this is a magical ritual completely just for myself. I usually try to connect to the gods, give homage to the gods, and so forth, but sometimes you just have to do magic to empower yourself. Sometimes you have to do magic just to make yourself stronger and to focus on who you really are and making that vision of yourself come into reality, really splitting the seams of reality and taking out from your subconscious, from your true desires, that self that you picture in the future, that vision that you want to make happen, as far as how you will evolve past the obstacles that you have right now, and how you will take up new strengths that you did not have previously, and new abilities, new understandings. In order for that to happen, you have to do little magical rituals like this one that I have right here. Now, I did not follow the rule that I just said of not having other things around, but the shrine that I have just to myself, this little one, is the only shrine where I really break that rule. The other shrines are completely spiritual related. I of course have some Crown of Success spiritual oil there. That is excellent for anointing yourself and kind of dabbing it on your chest and on your neck. I like to dab it in the places where I want to really have a chakra open up, and it gives your magic a little bit extra victory, a little extra chance to actually succeed. And of course I have a photo of myself, a rune word, which is basically a rune word that I use for growth. And I have a white tea light candle, black tea light candle, and I've been burning white sage, so I have a little bit there, and then I have a feather, which I use to kind of spread the smoke around my body. You can use any kind of feather, really. But, you know, that's my little shrine to myself that I've been using for some time now. And I highly recommend to just focus your magic on yourself sometimes, because it isn't always beneficial to just work externally and not just try to work internally with the gods, but also internally with yourself. Because I work internally with the gods, but this magic is directed to work with myself internally, forming myself into a grander picture of what I want to be. Little rituals like this really help. And now, I'm not going to describe this ritual. It's a very personal ritual, but I've shown you some of the implements, and perhaps you can figure out how to do one for yourself. I'm more than happy to explain it to you. If you ask me one-on-one, go to my Facebook account at www.facebook.com/hunter.salazar. Pretty easy to remember. Hunter and Salazar is not spelled any weird way. So you can also, of course, subscribe to my channel and show that you really are interested in these things, and comment on my videos and converse with me on my videos. I greatly appreciate anybody who gives me feedback, and I give feedback in return. I do not charge for my consultations that I do through Facebook Messenger or on other platforms. So if you just want some advice and you're truly interested, I can help you. Don't toss aside magic just because there's this false idea of magic as being illusory. The magic that I'm talking about is And this kind of magic is sometimes called occult, sometimes it's called you know, ancient. It's an old idea of magic that has been rebranded with a new name, but the idea is the same. Reaching out into the void beyond our understanding, and reaching into reality, really dealing with the fabric, and pulling out a new actualization for yourself, whether it be casting a spell, whether it be making a potion and drinking it, whether it be trying to connect to the gods, whether it be trying to protect yourself in whatever way possible, and maybe even assault somebody else. But I don't specialize in offensive magic, but there's a lot of protection magic that I'm quite good at, and I can make servitors and talismans. I've done that quite a bit in the past. But regardless, magic is something that you should probably look into in order to empower yourself on a level that is not of the material, that will travel with you over into your next incarnation, or into the afterlife, and then back to an incarnation. Some of us will just go into higher realms and just not come back to this place. But in order for you to create a better reality on a heightened level, you have to work with magic at least a little bit here and there. Thank you very much for watching. Hope this has been a nice little video. I will be posting another video, based on the votes that I have underneath the community tab. By the way, I did put a poll on the community tab maybe 4 days ago that was asking, which major video would you like me to produce? And in order to see the options, go to my YouTube channel. Just type in Hunter Salazar. If you're already on it, then obviously, yeah. And then subscribe, and then you can vote in the community tab on my channel as to which major video you would like me to do next. Now, I'm not doing this video immediately, but I'm trying to get as many votes as possible, give people time to vote, and really plan out this ritual, because I'm planning on it being a big video. It's not just going to be a little video. It's going to be a video with many elements, both spiritual and technological. So I want to do that one right, and I'm celebrating my 4,000th subscriber, which was a few days ago, and that's why I have put up that poll for you to vote on the next major video. But hey, thank you very much for watching. I hope this has been interesting, and I hope to see all of you on my channel in the future. Here's something that scares many people. Many people fear there being no inherent meaning to existence. Now, this terrifies not only people who believe in gods or God or anything like that, or the supernatural, the spiritual. And this, by the way, does not terrify spiritual people like me or many other spiritual people or many other religious people, but the majority, I think, are terrified of there not being inherent meaning to existence. Now, this also terrifies people who are atheists. A lot of atheists I know don't want to think about it, don't want to think about death and the ending of things, and don't really want to think about how nothing has meaning, because that can be scary. But here's what some atheists and some spiritual people know, and some religious people know, is that just because there is no inherent meaning to existence, that does not mean that assigning meaning is creating illusion or supporting an illusion. Assigning meaning allows you to access parts of your brain and your ability as a human being that you cannot access otherwise. If you do not assign meaning, to your environment, to yourself, to what you do, and to the grander moral compass that you can conjure up for yourself, then you will not be able to access the higher parts of your brain. The neocortex is vital in higher human thinking and higher human development. We're evolving there. We're evolving all over. I mean, all over our body, but we're evolving there. That's what separates us from animals, the neocortex. Now, you cannot access the higher functions of the neocortex without assigning meaning. Now, just because you assign meaning to something, that doesn't mean that meaning doesn't exist. It simply means that meaning is something that you as an individual focus on and have to cherish within yourself. You have to create your own faith, your own tradition, your own path. And once you do that, you start to gain the ability to be really, I don't want to say intellectually, but you gain the ability to truly master the tools at your disposal when it comes to the brain. You are able to not only understand your own existence, not only to be happy, but to also be able to do things that are considered supernatural and unbelievable to most people. Um, a lot of the so-called miracles, well, they are miracles, no doubt, and there is meaning behind that as well. And a lot of the magic that some of us might be aware of are due to assigning meaning and focusing on those meanings, driving all of your energy towards those meanings, and accessing that part of the neocortex that allows you to become what most would consider to be superhuman, to do supernatural things that aren't yet understood but will be understood in future centuries. Now, don't. This is very hard for us to conquer. The idea that if there isn't an external meaning to everything, then assigning meaning and assigning meaning is illusion. Then what's the point of living? But assigning meaning to something, embracing that meaning, focusing on that meaning, meditating on it day by day, putting all of your energy into it, that can actually create a God, a spirit. It can create a power within yourself to where you have the agency to act with that force. And that force, there's a doorway in our neocortex that assigning meaning to things opens up. So don't be afraid to really look at if there is inherent meaning in everything external, because really the meaning is within us. And that's how we create our traditions. And if you aren't, I don't want to say brave enough, if you aren't adventurous enough to create your own meanings, and you take up other meanings in other religions or spiritual paths, and follow one, that's fine too. But focus on it, whatever it is, and whoever you get it from. Just be sure to not hold it over other people's meanings and say it's superior. Understand that, but also understand that the power of that meaning is within you, not those external symbols, not those external books. The power of that meaning is within you. Understand this, and you will find yourselves, brothers and sisters, and you will find yourself to be more powerful than you could ever imagine. You can conquer your own sadness, and you can help humanity in ways that most people do not think are possible. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see all of you in the future. And don't forget that the higher functions of the neocortex are indeed ruled by compassion. Thank you very much, and feel free to follow me on YouTube. If this is posted on YouTube, then thank you for watching, and feel free to hit that thumbs up down there. All of you, have a great day.